stew from the Sea of Galilee. There's a moment where fish is cooked over a fire and shared among the disciples. It's a simple meal, but nutritionally, it's one of the most complete. Fish, like sardines and tilapia, are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These fats are essential for brain function, cardiovascular health, and inflammation control. DHA, in particular, is a key structural component of brain cell membranes, while EPA plays a major role in reducing inflammation throughout the body when fish is simmered with herbs like coriander, garlic, and oregano in olive oil. The result is a dish that supports both neurological and physical health. The protein is highly bioavailable, the fats are protective, and the herbs add antimicrobial and antioxidant support for people living physically demanding lives. This kind of meal provided exactly what the body needed: strength, clarity, and resilience. Number 7. Lamb and hyssop Passover stew. This meal comes directly from Exodus 12, where the Israelites are instructed to prepare lamb and eat it with bitter herbs, using hyssop in the process. On the surface, this is remembered as a ritual meal, but when you look closer, the ingredients themselves tell a deeper story. Lamb provides heme iron, the most absorbable form of iron available, along with complete protein, zinc, and vitamin B, 12 nutrients essential for energy, immune function, and endurance. Then you add hyssop, a plant that contains compounds like carvacrol and thymol, the same antimicrobial agents found in oregano and thyme. These compounds have been shown to act against a wide range of pathogens. So this wasn't just symbolic preparation for a journey. It was a meal designed to strengthen the body at a cellular level. The iron supports oxygen transport. The protein maintains muscle integrity. And the antimicrobial herbs help protect against infection, especially important for people about to travel through harsh and unfamiliar environments. Number 8. Bean and cumin digestive stew. There's a moment where cumin is mentioned as something so valuable it was carefully measured and tithed. That detail tells you how important it was in daily life. Cumin has been used for thousands of years as a digestive aid, and modern research supports that use. It contains compounds that stimulate digestive enzymes, increase bile production, and improve the breakdown and absorption of nutrients. It also shows antimicrobial activity and has been linked to improved blood sugar control. When combined with beans, this becomes a powerful gut-supportive meal. Beans provide resistant starch and a wide range of prebiotic fibers that feed beneficial gut bacteria. Cumin enhances the digestive environment so that those nutrients can be properly processed, while garlic adds an additional layer of antimicrobial protection. Together, they create a system that supports digestion, balances the microbiome, and improves metabolic stability. Number 9. Fig and lentil nourishment stew. This combination is especially fascinating because it connects nutrition with healing in a very direct way. There's an account where figs are used in treating a severe condition, and modern research has started to uncover why. Figs contain a proteolytic enzyme that helps break down damaged tissue and support healing. They also contain antimicrobial compounds that can inhibit bacterial growth. When eaten, figs provide soluble fiber that feeds gut bacteria and natural sugars that help restore energy levels during recovery. Now combine that with lentils, which bring protein, iron, magnesium, and zinc, key nutrients needed when the body is under stress or recovering from illness. Add herbs like coriander and cumin, and you have a stew that supports immune function, tissue repair, and overall recovery in a very efficient way. This is the kind of meal that works with the body, not against it, especially when digestion is weakened. Number 10. Olive oil and vegetable longevity stew. Olive oil is referenced more than almost any other ingredient, and for good reason. It wasn't just used occasionally, it was a daily foundation. Extra virgin olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which has anti-inflammatory effects similar to certain medications. It also carries antioxidants that protect cells from damage and supports cardiovascular health. When vegetables are slowly simmered in olive oil with garlic and herbs, something important happens. The oil helps absorb fat-soluble vitamins from the vegetables, while also delivering its own protective compounds. This turns a simple vegetable dish into a highly efficient nutrient delivery system. Populations that consistently eat this way, combining vegetables with generous amounts of olive oil, show lower rates of chronic disease and longer lifespans. It's not one ingredient doing the work, but the combination that creates the effect. Number 11. Goat milk and herb healing stew. In the ancient world, goat milk wasn't optional, it was essential, and nutritionally. It behaves very differently from most modern dairy. Goat milk has smaller fat molecules and a protein structure that many people find easier to digest. It contains medium-chain fatty acids that are quickly absorbed and can also have antimicrobial properties. It's also naturally rich in beneficial bacteria, especially when consumed fresh or fermented. When used as the base of a stew, with grains like barley and herbs like thyme or sage, it creates a meal that supports gut health in a very direct way. It's gentle on digestion, provides steady energy, and helps maintain a balanced microbiome. This kind of stew would have been especially valuable during recovery, when the body needs nourishment but can't handle heavy or difficult to digest foods. Number 12. Pomegranate and meat restoration stew. The pomegranate was one of the most symbolically significant fruits in the ancient world, but its value goes far beyond symbolism. Pomegranates contain unique compounds that are converted in the body into powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant molecules. Research shows they can reduce blood pressure, improve arterial function, and lower markers of inflammation. When combined with slow-cooked meat, pomegranate does something interesting. Its natural acids help break down connective tissue, turning tough cuts into tender. Gelatin-rich protein. At the same time, it infuses the dish with antioxidants that help counteract oxidative stress. So you end up with a stew that delivers both structural support through protein and minerals and protective compounds that reduce inflammation and support recovery. Number 13. Garlic and herb immunity broth. Garlic has been used medicinally across nearly every ancient culture, and that consistency is not accidental. When garlic is crushed, it produces compounds that act as broad-spectrum antimicrobials. These compounds have been shown to act against bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. Regular consumption of garlic has also been linked to reduced severity and frequency of common illnesses. In this broth, garlic is combined with herbs like thyme, oregano, and hyssop, creating a layered defense system. The key detail is that garlic is often added later in the cooking process to preserve its active compounds. This kind of broth is simple but extremely effective. It supports the immune system directly and has been used for centuries as a first response when the body starts to feel under stress. Number 14. Barley and lentil survival stew. This is one of the most complete plant-based meals you can create. Barley and lentils together provide a nearly perfect nutritional balance. Barley contributes beta-glucan for gut and cardiovascular health, along with steady energy release. Lentils provide protein, iron, and essential micronutrients. Their amino acid profiles complement each other, meaning together they form a complete protein source. This kind of combination could sustain a person through long periods of physical demand. It's simple, accessible, and highly effective, even today. Research on long-lived populations consistently points to legumes as a key factor in longevity. Number 15. Hyssop detox broth. Hyssop appears repeatedly in purification practices, and for a long time, those uses were seen as purely symbolic. But modern analysis has revealed something different. Hyssop contains the same antimicrobial compounds found in some of the most potent medicinal herbs. It has been shown to inhibit certain viruses, reduce inflammation, and support respiratory health when prepared as a broth or infusion. Hyssop releases volatile compounds that can be inhaled as well as consumed. This dual action supports both the respiratory system and internal defenses, combined with garlic and a small amount of honey. This becomes a simple but highly functional remedy that works through multiple pathways at once. Number 16. Almond and grain strength stew. Almonds held a unique place in the ancient world, often symbolizing watchfulness and renewal, but their nutritional value is just as remarkable. Almonds are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. They're also high in magnesium, a mineral involved in hundreds of enzymatic processes in the body, including energy production and muscle function. When almonds are combined with grains like spelt or emmer in a slow-simmered stew, they do more than just add texture. The healthy fats in almonds enhance the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins from the other ingredients, while also providing steady, sustained energy. They also contribute fiber and plant-based protein, creating a meal that supports both physical endurance and cognitive function. This kind of stew isn't just filling, it's deeply nourishing in a way that supports long-term resilience. Number 17. Date and meat energy stew. Dates were one of the most valued foods in the ancient world, often used as both sustenance and currency. They're naturally rich in glucose and fructose, which provide quick energy, but they also contain fiber that slows down absorption, preventing sudden spikes and crashes in blood sugar. When dates are slow, cooked with meat, something unique happens. The natural sugars caramelize and blend with the savory elements, creating a balanced energy profile. The protein and fats from the meat slow digestion, while the minerals in dates like potassium and magnesium support muscle function and recovery. This combination creates a steady release of energy rather than a short burst. It's the kind of meal that fuels long journeys, sustained effort, and recovery after physical stress. That's one of the reasons dates have historically been used to break fasts. The body absorbs them efficiently without being overwhelmed. Number 18. Bitter herb cleansing stew. Bitter herbs were a required part of certain traditional meals. And while their taste might not be appealing, their function is extremely important. When bitter compounds come into contact with the tongue and digestive system, they trigger what's known as the bitter reflex. This reflex stimulates the production of digestive enzymes, increases bile flow, and enhances stomach acid production. In other words, it prepares the entire digestive system to break down and absorb nutrients more effectively. Beyond digestion, bitter greens contain compounds that support liver detoxification pathways. These compounds help the body process toxins, metabolic waste, and other unwanted substances more efficiently. When simmered into a stew with garlic, lemon, and olive oil, the bitterness is softened, but the functional benefits remain. This makes it an ideal meal for resetting digestion or supporting the body during periods of cleansing and recovery. Number 19. Fish and barley fisherman's stew. This is a simple but highly effective combination. Fish provides high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids, which support brain health, reduce inflammation, and aid in recovery. Barley, on the other hand, provides beta-glucan, which stabilizes blood sugar and supports gut health. When these two are combined in a stew, they create a balanced system. The protein supports muscle repair. The omega-3s protect the brain and reduce inflammation. And the barley provides steady energy while feeding beneficial gut bacteria. This kind of meal is especially effective for people performing physical labor. It fuels the body without overwhelming it, and it supports both immediate energy needs and long-term health at the same time. Number 20, multi-bean ancient strength stew. This final stew brings together everything we've been building toward. A mix of legumes, lentils, chickpeas. Beans creates one of the most nutritionally complete meals available from whole foods. Each type of
charging her with two counts of taking indecent liberties with students and one count of second degree sexual exploitation of a minor. The alleged incident occurred while she served as a counselor at Orange High School in Orange County. Court records indicate the communications involved at least two students and included the exchange of nude images and videos via Snapchat, with some activity reported as recently as April. Bryant, who is married to Daniel Bryant, has three children, resigned from her position on June 12, 2026. Shortly after being placed on administrative leave, school administrators had alerted a school resource officer to the allegations, prompting the Orange County Sheriff Office to launch an investigation. The statement from the Sheriff Office detailed the sequence of events. The morning former Orange County Schools employee Leslie Grant at 17 herself in at the magistrate's office after Orange County Sheriff's Officer investigators CTAP obtained warrants charging her with two counts of indecent liberties with students and one count of sexual exploitation of a minor. The statement noting that Bryant was initially held without bond before a court appearance. Orange County Schools responded swiftly to the allegations in an official statement. The district emphasizes commitment to safety and well allegations of misconduct of new now former Orange High School counselor. The district immediately reviewed and placed the employee on suspension with pay. The district further noted that with the matter now in the hands of law enforcement, it would defer further comments to the sheriff's office while reaffirming its dedication to a safe learning environment. The sheriff's office described the investigation as active and ongoing. Authorities have not released additional details about the students involved, citing the sensitive nature of the case. Bryant's attorney was contacted for comment but did not immediately respond. Now, moving on to our next update for tonight is Mount Etna erupts in Sicily, sparking volcano red alert warning. Mount Etna, Europe's highest active volcano, erupted on Sunday, sending plumes of ash and smoke into the sky over Sicily and disrupting air travel in the popular holiday region. The eruption began in the early morning hours with ash emissions first detected around 7:45 a.m. local time from a vent on the upper eastern flank of the Voronezh Kranti. Activity intensified shortly before 9 a.m., producing a significant eruptive cloud that rose approximately 1.5 kilometers. Volcano Rossa Airport swiftly implemented safety measures in response to the volcanic ash. Incoming flights were suspended while departures for aircraft. Several flights were diverted to Palermo Airport, and Italy's flag carrier ITA Airways announced cancellations and rescheduling for affected routes. In a statement, ITA Airways said due to Mount Etna's volcanic activity and the presence of volcanic ash in the atmosphere, operations at Catania Fontanarossa Airport have been temporarily suspended. Our departing and arrival flights are subject to cancellations and rescheduling. The Italian national closely monitoring the situation in southeast sectors in the following hours, potentially affecting areas near the city of Catania. Wind conditions push volcanic ash in that direction, raising concerns for local air quality and visibility. Rents showing thick black ash billowing from the crater, the powerful emissions unfolding against the Silesian landscape. The Civil Protection Development raised the alert level to yellow as eruption continues to be monitored. Etna standing at nearly 9,800 feet, 3,000 meters, has a long history of both effusive lava flows and explosive activity. Earlier this year, the volcano entered a new eruptive phase on January 1st, and recent activity in late June included small lava flows that had largely subsided before this latest outburst. Airport management companies reported that restrictions, including a limit of 5 flights per hour in certain sectors, would remain in place through the evening. Travelers were advised to check with airlines for the latest updates before heading into the airports. Before we move on to our next update for tonight, I still have with me for Natasha, the minister, right in the studio, and we want to talk about this one quickly about the Etna eruption. We heard from the news past weeks ago, past Shabbats ago, that we are going to be experiencing extreme heat waves, and it's going to be the type that the planet Earth has never experienced before. I want to just ask your opinion before I give the next update for tonight. Do you think that this eruption is a sign that something is burning under the earth?
All right, thank you, Caribbean Legends of the Prophet. Once again, I acknowledge all our cherished listeners and viewers um, all over around the world. We say our richly blessed. So, touching on this issue, in regards to these earthquakes and volcano eruptions and the rest, you could tell that there is something going on beneath the earth's surface. Yes. So this is what causes the rise beneath the earth. And this fire, when it builds up and then the heat builds up, that is what comes out as volcanic eruption. And most of the times, and not most of the times, always this volcanic eruption come with a certain form of gas. So I remember some time ago, when the man of Yah said he visited hell. When he went to hell, this sort of gas coming out from hell, and then he mentioned certain places where this gas has even got into.
Yes.
And then the things that happens in the physical, they have their sorry in the spiritual. Some of the things that happen in the spiritual, when you come to the physical, just like the volcanic eruption. Anytime there's a volcanic eruption, even if you are not killed by the magma or the heat, there is this kind of gas, poisonous gases that
Ice
emit,
can
yes,
see.
that are emitted from the volcanic eruption, and then those clothes, they get affected when you inhale these gases. Very poisonous, very dangerous. So some of these things, so it should tell you that there is something beneath. Even if you don't believe that there is air fire somewhere, no volcano should tell you how come there is this kind of fire. Where did the fire come from? Who lighted the fire? Yes, it should be questions we should be asking ourselves. Who went to light the fire?
It's as though it has been stored up for years because
Mm,
all of a sudden it's erupting. So definitely this kind of volcanoes, they are like homes for liquid fire.
sure.
Mm.
Just as Bible described the lake of fire, a
Yeah.
lake, So kind of liquid, kind of fire. You can't even explain how
Mm.
it's. I'm imagining you being in this kind of fire.
That's
I pray we don't find
serious.
ourselves there. So
Amen.
yeah, so this anyone listening to us, volcano should even tell you that there is something beneath the earth. There is something beneath the earth. Yes,
So
there is
it's like a
something.
warning sign.
Sure,
All
it's like a
right.
warning sign.
All right, thank you so much for Natalie the Minister. We're moving quickly to our next update, which we're also going to be discussing about tonight. College students are now testing at the same level of 10 years old. A startling new international assessment has exposed deep deficiencies in foundational skills among students enrolled in higher education across wealthy nations. According to a report from Fisherism, which highlighted findings from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD), significant portions of college students are performing at reading and math levels typical of 10-year-olds. The OECD survey of adult skills evaluated approximately 160,000 individuals across its 38 member countries, which include many high-income Western nations. The results paint a concerning picture of educational outcomes in post-secondary institutions, where basic literacy and numeracy gaps persist even among those pursuing advanced degrees. Across all OECD countries, 8% of college students read at or below the level of expected of a 10-year-old. The figures vary sharply by nation, Germany and France reported rates under 5%, while Poland stood at 21%, Israel at 20%, and the United States at 14%. Math proficiency showed similarly troubling patterns, with 9% of college students across the OECD performing at or below that same elementary benchmark. In countries including Italy, the United States, and Slovakia, the rate exceeded 15%, reaching roughly 21% in Israel. The survey revelations come amid broader discussions of educational challenges, factors such as pandemic-related learning disruptions, declining enrollment pressures that may have led institutions to ease admissions criteria and reduce public investment in education, have been cited as contributing elements. These issues appear alongside the rapid adoption of artificial intelligence tools, which some observers link to diminish independent academic efforts. One bright spot emerged from a classroom experiment in Minneapolis, where a literature and English teacher eliminated phones and laptops, insisting on pencil and paperwork. As the school year started in September, just 46% of the students involved said they felt confident about their reading skills. A few months later, in February, that number stood at 95%. The report noted, illustrating potential benefits of reduced technology dependence. The OECD data underscores systematic strains in education systems of the world's most developed economies, with students entering higher education showing foundational skills far below historical expectations. The long-term implications for workforce readiness and society functioning remain pressing concerns that demand attention. All right, for Natalia Minister, I want us to pause here a little before I give the last updates, and then we'll move over to what I have on the decks for tonight. You know, I keep wondering, if there is no decline, how can there be a replacement? Because if that efficiency is there with humans where they are capable, that capability, that ability, one time our man of you told us responsibility is responding to your ability. If there is no decline, why would there be a replacement? So, in other words, I'm talking about AI. Remember how the first update tonight was about an AI actress, and many other actresses and actors are and filmmakers are condemning the act, saying that no, AI cannot take human creativity, cannot be the center of humans are still supposed to be in the front line, even though AI is in the system, but it's like AI seems to be taking everything. So if we have AI already in the system, AI wanting to be doctors, nurses, actors, actresses, and they in fact they are even in grocery shops, they are waiters, a lot of employment majors where AI is taken. What's the essence of still going to school? So it's like the most children or most youths today, there is a decline in their performance. Is it just because of AI, or is it something that has been targeted that at a certain time the reasoning of people should decrease so that AI can reason for them, so that they can solely depend on AI?
All right. All right. So thank you very much. You know, I someone would say this thing is arguable. Yes. When you check the intelligence of people who or of the old, when there was no AI, and then the internet was not much, when many people did not know about it. When you check their intelligence, it surpasses the
Yes.
intelligence of, sorry to say, youth of today. It surpasses the intelligence of youth of today. So we say we call this generation the advanced generation, the computer, but it seems those who were not in the computer, they are far more, although you know their kind of reasoning, their mindset is advanced than the kind of intelligence and reasoning when you bring um the child of today or the youth of today compared to the youth of let's say the 18s, the 19s, I mean the 18 somethings and the 19s. When you
Yeah.
compare their intelligence,
It's
you
not the
realize that
same.
no, it's not the same, because even if you should listen to their speech at very tender ages, there were people that when they speak, you could see wisdom in it. You said,
Yes.
okay, this person. But today,
It's all about
sorry to
technology.
say, if most youths, I mean most youth, those in their late teenagers, there are things they talk, and then it looks like they are still, their mindset have not matured. And I believe a lot of things. There are a lot of factors that contribute to this. Can read the daughter of the prophet. Before those elites, and then those big inventors will bring, and then those IT gurus, they will bring up something. They first do the background works.
Yes,
They first do
yes.
the background works before they bring anything. So if you should check, uh, AI, well, what knowledge has abound, but I tell you, a lot of people, they are ignorant. A lot of people, they don't go in for truth. A lot of things have filled up the minds of many youths, many people,
Yes.
not only the youth, even adults, older men and older women. A lot of things have filled up their minds. A lot of things. One were the days where um, very young people, they had vision. They had the vision that I will leave my father's house, and I'll do something on my own. I'll start
Yes.
something on my own. At very young age, you see people and they'll say they
Yes.
have farms, but today, what has become of us? Because of the education system, somebody will finish school around the age of let's say, if the person started school early, by the age of 24, 25, 26, I mean those that started school early, you know, that is when the person is beginning to start life. And with that, you spend 1 year doing your national service. So let's say 20, probably 27 years. That is
I
when you are
think that
going
the
to,
system of the world is not favorable.
it
It's
has.
preparing them for what is to come,
So
which is what we are.
7 years, that person will still be in the father's house. Yes, because you are not starting it. So let's say around 2 years or 3 years later, that is when they
Yes.
move out of their father's house. But then gone were the days where you see somebody as young, because I remember when I was some time ago, and then I was talking to my father, and he said, so in the midst of the discussion, and then he mentioned when he left and came to Accra, and it was very young. I was like, at that time he was of he would be like my age when I was asking him that question, and I was still in his house,
Yeah.
because of education.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Because of
Serious.
education. So
Yes.
so I think before anything comes, it has already been programmed. The life of every almost the average person going to school, his life has been calculated. When you will go for pension has been calculated.
Yes.
you know
What you have said is a key point because it's like the lives of people are already programmed. I love that statement so much. Our life is supposed to be programmed by Yahuwah. He is supposed to, direct our life and, tell us where we should be, what we are to do. But it's almost like man has taken that role, and so many people are depending on men for that
so
role to program their life. So they tell them that you have to go through the process. The process is kindergarten, crash, kindergarten, and then you move through like this. And this is the age where you have to get married. There's that age you get to, and then we're like, what's up? Why are you not
so
married?
so
So it's like the world has been programmed already
yes, yes.
out of the will of the Father.
So if somebody, let's say somebody at the age of, let's say, 22, is saying, okay, I'm going to get married, then you are too young.
Get
Why
to
are you entering
know
marriage?
you're
And they say
rushing, you're
blah 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 blah. But before you realize, and they themselves, they sometimes they contradict themselves, because
rushing.
sometimes they will tell you, or they themselves, they will say, okay, as a young lady, you need to get married early, because when after your teenage years, that means
Yes.
your womb is strong to hold baby, your womb is very strong,
Oh,
this
just
this.
plenty
And after
stories.
that, when they'll tell you that 18 years you are too young, you should wait, before you realize you are 30 years. And then things
It's
will be so. I
serious.
believe that the education system has been structured and programmed to control their lives. So a lot
Of
of people,
people and to
their
take
lives have
them from
already.
purpose.
If I would do the white collar jobs, five to
Yes.
9 to 5.
They make it believe that you have to give back to your nation. You have to serve your nation.
So
So
9 to 5, I'll go 9 to 5, be at work 9, come back 5, I have closed, I'll
no
come back
time,
home.
no
So
time
it
to.
keeps on rotating. That person one will not have time for Yahoo, because after that 5, you are going to join long queue to get bus to and get to your house. You join bus, you join the queue, take bus. By the time you come home, it's already 7. What time are you going to pray? You need to wake up very early, because in most of the capital cities, Traffic jam. If you wake up at 5, you go to work late. So they wake up. So it becomes a cycle. It becomes a
Yes.
cycle. It becomes a cycle. And then when are you going to have time for Yahuwah?
At the end
When
of
are you
the
going to
day,
have time for family?
at the end of the day, they're giving all their time to money,
You
to
see,
what the enemy wants them to give their time to.
that is why I say that this thing will be arguable. Somebody might see that and say, "Oh, it is
Oh,
normal."
no,
Yeah.
no. It's serious. You know what? I was reading the Bible, and in the book of Genesis, where Joseph actually became the prime minister, and he actually met the brothers and said, "Go and bring Benjamin." And he gave them gifts, and I took notice of the gifts he was giving to them, the garments,
Mm.
and he gave the brothers just one garment and gave, I think, five to Benjamin. And I was wondering, is it just one garment they need? So it made me to reason that then the system of this world has made it look like you need to have so many garments. At the end of
Right.
the day, you need to work so much for your body. You need to work so much for necessary things for your stomach. You need to. They tell you that you have to eat 3 times a day. You have to eat breakfast, then have have some snacks and lunch, and then you need to have some snacks again, then supper. You need to have some dessert. So at the end of the day, you'll be eating like 6 times a day. So the system of this world is really programming men out of the will of the Father. And no wonder there are a lot of struggles. There are so many struggles. All right, that's it for the third minister. If you have been listening, this is season 360 news, and my time is fast spent, so I'll be skipping the last updates for tonight. Yeah, willing tomorrow I'll bring that update. So let me give you what I actually have on the deck. So in case you have been listening, we just mentioned so many things that they have a way of programming man, and it's including the food that you eat. So there's this update about ketchup. This ketchup, everybody wants ketchup. I want ketchup. Ketchup is very tasty, it's so sweet. Or what could you be having as ketchup? Take a look at this one.
Genetically modified ketchup. Heinz just got busted by a GMO labeling law after their world famous sweetener was traced to bioengineered corn built to survive aggressive weed killer spraying.
Heinz didn't only GMO the ketchup, they bottled something so much worse. That red squirt isn't half tomato. It's pesticide pulps, liquefied in citric acid, grown from black mold, stuffed into aseptic drums, left to sit for 18 straight months. What remains is meat used in glue, then dripped into PET plastic, engineered to never rot. Heinz simply scanned clean. The original flagged 7 additives, 1 tied to fatty liver disease.
All right, so this is the Hobbit about ketchup. So in case you're still eating ketchup, well, be very careful. There's something our mother will always tell us here in this big family is that learn to do things yourself. You can always prepare things yourself. When I came across this update, I actually went to the comment section, and a lot of white folks were actually like, I remember when I dumped that ketchup thing, I knew for a long time that it's rubbish. You see why a lot of people are falling sick. So because of our time, let me give you my other updates for tonight before I bring Fanataya back on this discussion.
Facebook was just granted one of the craziest patents I've ever heard.
It can mimic you when you're dead.
And it shows you where Facebook's head is. They have gotten a patent that can study your digital life, and basically, it can mimic you when you're dead. Yeah. It can figure out how you talk, your mannerisms, your behavior, your personality, how you respond to comments. So even after you're dead, it can interact as you, as a dead person. Experts warn this crosses a big red line. I mean, yeah. And again, Facebook could deny that this is what they want to do, but you can't lie about the patents you get. And you only get patents when you're thinking about doing something in the future.
I don't know why one will want to keep the dead moving, because clearly in scripture, the Bible actually, Yahweh clearly told his people that we should not even defile ourselves with necromancers, with sorcerers, familiar spirits. And if anybody is going to help you to communicate with the dead, it has to be through a medium. That was what Saul did, and he had to consult the witch of Endor just to get to Samuel. So, yeah, clearly told its people, that they should not follow the ways of the nation. So you'll be on Facebook or any social media platform owned by Meta, and someone will be dead because the person is your friend and you will not be aware, but you still be communicating with that person with currency. I want to hear your opinion in the next 2 minutes before I wrap it up. Panata, the minister, concerning this one and also with the picture.
All right, God bless you. With this thing, I have there was this time some time ago that I heard of it, but not not Facebook. There is this thing that they will do that they will capture memories of people, and then yes, you would put on some sort of 3D glasses. So it carries you to a certain place, and then you meet up with this person, and then you begin to talk. It's like a virtual world where they capture the minds of these people. And then your mind is part of your soul. So they capture the minds of that person, create an image of that person virtually. So when you put on these glasses, it carries you to a virtual world where you are able to talk with your loved one. You are able to have this conversation with them. And it looks so real because when you put on that glass, you don't see anything around you. It's like you are carried to another world. When you take off that glasses, you begin to see everything normal. But when you wear that glass, it's like you have entered into a virtual world.
But it's still not communicating with familiar
You
spirits.
see, so the person is there and you are still communicating with the person. You are still normal. So I think that is what Facebook is also trying to bring. And then this thing is very dangerous because, you know, uh, when we look at the spiritual aspect, because sometimes people are give when their loved one dies, and then so when something like this has come, they will give it their all, and then instead of letting go of the past, they will still hold on to that thing, and then you know communicating and then communing with the dead. When they are dead and are no more. And gradually, I believe it's not that they are dead that they are communicating with. It's a spirit because that person is going to face judgment, and you are communicating. What communication? So that person is already going through judgment, and then another spirit has taken the image of that person, and then you think you are
Maybe
communicating.
that person is even in hell suffering. All right, thank you so much for Natalie Minister. This is spare time. Will allow me to go the persons here. In case you're wondering where I got all the updates from, I got them right on Teshuba Bible app. So try to download the app for more end time updates. Till we meet again, don't forget that Yahusha is coming very, very soon. And I wish you heaven at last. Bye for now.
All right, now God bless you for doing another before for this exciting. This is the news. Now we should bless you. My brother, you're moving into a spirit of your son, we are not your son. Your son, he will. Yes, your son will. Whatever you are going up for, stay tuned, don't touch the dial, don't click the dial, yes. As we are joined by the son, we are talking for this exciting segment of the son will. The son is the way they will be. And today's segment is going to be exciting. It is going to be different. It is going to be powerful. It is going to be different. It is going to be powerful because there is going to be dynamics today. There is going to be dynamics today. Yes, I know you are expecting, and then you are eager to see what is in the studios here. Yes, but don't worry. Um, um, so as you wait for the show, you are watching. Yes. All right, I want to richly bless you. I want to use this opportunity to acknowledge all those that have joined even on the Teshuva, the faith part in the Teshuva Bible. Yes. I can see you from Alain. From Alain, Yahweh richly bless you. Yahweh richly bless you. Yes. Thank you for joining, and I believe that tonight, even as you have joined, your life is not going to be the same. say, now it will bless you. Even as we wait for Prison, the apostle to join us in the studios. Fine. The man of Yah Prison, the apostle, is right here right now in the studios. Man of Yah, you are welcome and shalom.
Thank you, thank you, and peace be unto you. Yahweh bless all our cherished viewers and listeners all over the world. We say Yahweh bless you. You are not here by chance. You are not asking. You are actually here by divine appointment. May Yahweh bless Caribbean, the daughter of the prophet, for such a powerful ministration on the News 360. We say may Yah continue to bless her and grant her heart desire for dear. All those who are watching us or listening to us all over the world, we say Yahweh bless you. This is Unsung Hero. We are here to let you know those who are making the difference in the life of others, those who are making the difference over, all over uh, the world. We say Yahweh bless you once again, even for joining, even by Panatea, the minister, different level altogether, different level altogether. Yeah, where we are bringing dynamism to the show for today. food. Those who are occupying the land, I am a just God. I have to make sure that I am just. So whatever judgment I am giving, I give. They call it appeal. So if the judgment is it seems to be let me see, it used to be not just. Someone can call for appeal. That's why we have appeal court. That's why we have a Supreme Court. Yeah. So when Abraham asks, when Yahweh asked Abraham, he said, I will make your descendant like this, the stars in the sky, your descendant like the sea, like the sun in the seashore. Yeah. So upon all this promise, Abraham was still without a child. Yeah. So Abraham told Yahweh in Genesis chapter 15 that the one in my house, the one that I trusted, is this Eliezer of Damascus, the eldest son in my house. He was born in my house. He was born in my house. He was a servant in my house. He's the only one that I have that will yes. So today we are coming to look at this Eliezer. We are coming to look at Eliezer. We will look at some qualities of him. We will look at some qualities of Eliezer. Then we will use that to know why Eliezer is the real hero, even in the Bible. Why Eliezer is unsung hero. So I have with me Fanataya to have a discussion on unsung hero today. So Fanataya, once again, you are welcome. We are looking at Eliezer. No, the name Eliezer is actually two names joined together. Eli and Eliezer, which means Eli means my God, and Ezra means my helper. Now, and Fanatea, this Eliezer, the Bible told us he was from Damascus. He was not an Hebrew, he was from Damascus. Yeah, so what do you have to say about this Eliezer before we move on into some of the yes, Fanatea the minister. You are welcome once again.
For a born child or a slave child to be recognized by the master that if in case if something nothing should happen, I will
Number one is to recognize figures, yes, who were once in the Bible or figures who are still alive here with us yes, to actually recognize them. That's why if you bring a hero here down so far, that actually qualify you to become a hero. Yeah, so it's very important. So we will look at critically what the qualities of this Eliezer. Very key. When you were talking about for him being overseer or someone who is in charge of Abraham house. Yes, it is Abraham is a great man, and for you to be in charge of his house, in nowadays they will call him like a prime minister. Yes, or they will call him as a chief of staff who knows everything, and it is only few people. Now, look, look at this Eliezer. If you read Genesis, who was the eldest servant in the house of Abraham. So he was holding a very high quality position there. Now, let's start you are. If you are able to go by these qualities, one day you will also become a hero. One day, who knows, we might even bring it to the city, to the studio here. Yes. So I will look at, I've enumerated about 4 key qualities of Eliezer of Damascus. Now, let's look at the first. I will name the qualities, then we'll go back again to have a discussion on them. The first quality that I see in this Eliezer is second quality is the quality that he was prayerful. He was prayerful. Eliezer was prayerful. Then the other quality that he also understood the role of timing in the kingdom. You see, timing is very important in the kingdom. So this Eliezer, when it comes to loyalty, he is there. When we come to prayerfulness, he is there. When we come to understanding of the role of timing in the kingdom, he is there. Then we also look at this 4 quality. He also had the opportunity to go back to his native country. He had an opportunity to experience freedom, but he did not. So Fanata, we'll be looking at this Eliezer on these 4 points. I strongly believe that any of these points, if you can pass the litmus test of this point, actually, you will become a hero one day. So let's look at Fanata. Let's start with loyalty. You see, the Bible said he was born in the house of Abraham, and he is the eldest servant there. And Abraham called him, and Abraham made we have to critically even compare to what is happening at this end of time. That people are looking for per diem, people are looking for traveling allowances, people are looking at what they will gain. Yes, we did not. Why can't you go and look for my own first? Or he will tell Abraham, then if I'm going, what about my wife? Let me carry my wife along. Or who will take care of my wife? He did not ask all those things. He just went as he was sent. Yes, Fanatea, what do you have to say about this quality of loyalty
All
of
right.
Eliezer?
All right, thank you, Christian the Apostle. Studying Eliezer keenly, you realize that Eliezer he learned from Abraham a lot. He was able to learn from Abraham, you know, because just like Abraham when he was sent and he did not question Yahuwah, he did not give any reason not to go. He also obeyed king. And if you check the life of Eliezer, you realize that indeed he was not just in the house of Abraham eating. He was not in his house just occupying position, but he learned. That is one thing about loyalty. Whoever you are loyal to, you learn from that person. Whoever you are loyal to, yes, you begin to have certain traits of that person. And Eliezer had that quality because when there was no Isaac in the picture, he was like the heir apparent to the throne. In other words, when there was no Isaac, he was the one that if should in case something should have happened would have occupied. Because if Abraham should open this thing up to Yahweh, which means that in one way or the other he had considered him, and there came an Isaac. Said that okay, I will show Isaac. We live in a world that yes, we
But this is a key point. This is a key point because that loyalty actually coming because it's Isaac is now as a threat to him.
sure.
You see, there are a lot of in organization, in institution. You see, though if I see someone trying to, let's say, I don't know the word to use, to or didn't I say, or I don't know, to backbite. Is it backbite or to betray or to bear false witness? I don't know the word to use. If maybe someone has been appointed a leader and some people are just fighting underground doing some things against the person. What I always tell them is that number one, if that person is no more there, what shows that you are the one that will go there? That is one. You see, what shows that if the person leave, you will go there. And what the person is doing, do you have the capacity? Do you have the ability to do it? That is number two. So actually, Isaac was a threat to this man. So assuming, so Abraham himself know. That's why he told Yahweh that this man Eliezer is someone who will be taking over me, who will take over what I have. Now all of a sudden Isaac came. So and now Abraham said, go and look for wife for Isaac. So the Isaac, you see, what also happened to is that Isaac can also be there. He will end up not having a child. So in that case, if Eliezer will still take over, but he did not look at that. And Fanatea, when he sent him, he actually went. He actually went. He did not stop by the way and come and give stories. So Fanatea, continue. Continue.
So it was a very big opportunity for Eliezer to show Isaac some purpose. Yeah, you have taken my you have taken my position from me. Now I've got it. Yes, many people will do it. We live in such a wicked world. A lot of people will do it. That is that is subordination and then disloyalty. Yes, a lot of people will go a long way around to supplant their master or whoever is standing in their way to success. Because if I should bring a bad woman, I can connive with that woman and do some agreement and say, oh, come and marry him and kill him so that the property will. Because at that moment, Isaac was Abraham's only child. He was Abraham's only child. It was later that we heard that he went to marry Keturah and then they began to have children. So it was a very king. And he did not also complain about the journey, just as you have said that. He did not say, this person that has come to take me off my position. I'm running errands because of this one too. Oh, I won't go. Or I would. When he was going, he carried a lot of valuable things. He could have gone and set up a kingdom on his own. Because looking at the gifts he presented and looking at the what was following him, we could tell you that he had gone with something that he can start a life on his own with. This is what is happening when people realize that they have something small. When they realize that they have something small, then they also say, okay, then I want to go and be on my own. But Eliezer did not look at this thing. He wanted to. That is why I said he had really learned from the house, or he had really learned in the house of Abraham, because he could have said, "Oh, looking at all these good things I am going with, let me go and also set up my kingdom somewhere." And in those days, I'm not sure they buy land. You just go and look for some place, and then yes, you can go and pitch his tent there, start a family of his own, and then because he had learned a lot of things. He was the one. If Abraham Mount had money, he was his financial accountant. If he had, he was in fact he was in charge of everything. So he knew how to manage. He knew how to rule. He knew how to yard. He could have, but he said no. I have to serve my master. This is the mandate upon me that my master has tasked me. I will be loyal to my master, even to do that which is good. My master, he said I shouldn't bring any Canaanite to me. I will not bring any Canaan. I will do as my master has commanded. So I think when it comes to loyalty, Eliezer really did well because it was tempting. We just read it, but we don't weigh it. It was very tempting that and me and Kami, I'm the one supposed to be in charge. Something has happened, and I'm no more in charge. And I'm running errands so that the one who has taken in charge of me will succeed more. I have to do something. But he didn't look at that, and then he was even loyal to his master, not just his master alone, but to the son of his master.
Yes, Fanata, Yahweh bless you. I think we are getting somewhere. Viewers all over the world, Yahweh bless you. All those who have joined us, even in Faith Pod here, even in the Teshuva Bible app, we say Yahweh bless you for joining. You are not here by chance. You are not here by accident. You are here by divine appointment. I believe you are learning valuable information here that will help you with your work with Yahweh. For definitely, someone who is not loyal cannot work with Yahweh. For Yahweh is loyal. He is an epitome of loyalty. Yeah, that's why he said, I changed not. The day that Yahweh became a disloyal, then we will all be consumed. Yeah, because he's available, he's stable, he's trustworthy, he is there for us. Yes. So even that's why he called even his servant in First Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2, that in stewards, in working with Yahweh, it is required that a man or a woman be found faithful or loyal. That is why Yahweh hates idolatry, and idolatry also sponsors adultery. Yeah, because anyone who cannot stick with one thing cannot serve Yahweh. Yahweh bless you, all those who are watching us all over the world. We strongly believe that you are learning a vital information that will help you with the work with Yahweh. So we are looking at Eliezer of Damascus. Eliezer of Damascus, our unsung hero for today, who have all that it takes for him to become disloyal. But he was loyal. He went. And he also was recorded as a servant of Abraham. So, Fanata, we are still looking at still loyalty. Maybe today we might not finish. Then Wednesday we will try to finish because there's a lot of things to learn from this man. Yes, Eliezer of Damascus. Yes. So when Abraham sent him, he went, and he was carrying the servant with him, and they went all the way. He might have no, you see, he understood how kingdom works, how things work. You see, there are some benefit, there are some good things that involve if you are loyal. And Damascus, or where he was coming from, he was actually going back to his native country. So I will jump to look at this also to add it to the loyalty. There may be another day when we had the opportunity, we will look at his prayerful life and also his understanding of timing. That is very key. That will also make, if we get to know, you will see the difference between Eliezer of Damascus and Esau. Yeah, that you send someone, the person say I'll go, but in tree they say something. Abrabe conscio, Benintem no. He will go. Oh, I'll go. I'll do it. But the time that he will come back, if you are feeling thirsty, you will have died before he will come. The time that you will come back, if you need that money to buy food, you will have died of anger. So we'll look at that also critically. But today, we are combining loyalty, his loyalty, and also the opportunity for him to go back to his native country that he did not do. Now, so Fanatea, let's look at this. You see, if you look at that time, you see, Syria, you see, Damascus was the capital of Syria, and Syria is a neighbor to uh, Israel now. So, along the line, when we come to the book of Kings, First Samuel, Second Samuel, the book of Kings, you will understand it very well when we come to when the kingdom was divided. Yes, when the kingdom was divided, Jeroboam and Rehoboam. Jeroboam took over the northern territory, and Rehoboam, the son of King Solomon, took over the southern territory, which is Judah, and the rest of the kingdom fell into the hand of Jeroboam. And so you understand very well that at the Syria is actually at the north top. I don't know if I'm describing very well. It's at the north top of Israel. Now, you see, every nation that you go, normally the north top, there is always maybe uh, under development, lack of some amenity, lack of facilities there. If you like, check even the countries that we have. If you go to the south, most of the time the south is more developed than the north. Now, so this Eliezer was actually in the south, was actually in the capital city, was actually with his boss, Abraham. And he had all that was in the house of Abraham. He was carrying 10 camels, 10 servants, that he had the opportunity now to go back. You also don't forget that he was a servant. So a servant, there are certain facilities that are limited to him. So far as he remained in the house of Abraham, he will continue to be a servant. But when he goes back to his country, when he goes back to where he's coming from, he is now a champion. Like someone who has traveled to UK, to US, he has come back to Ghana. He have dollars. He have money to spend. He is burger. So if him going back to his country, stay in his country, he can enjoy life with all those money. He can build factories. He can build families. He can build a lot of things. And not more so, not that understand that in those olden days, servants are also restricted from going to certain areas. You know what happened to King Solomon and Shimei? Shimei was a servant, and King Solomon told Shimei that dwell in Jerusalem. The day that you move out of Jerusalem, you will die. And Shimei forgot, and he went out of Jerusalem. So in those early days, servants are restricted from moving out of certain jurisdiction, certain areas, that they are not permitted to move out. But this man, Eliezer, had this singular honor, this freedom for him to move out of what you might call a bondage. You might call where he will not exercise his freedom, where he will never have become a prince or have become someone of that can become a king in that nation. So he went to his own country without any supervision, without anyone guiding him. You know, even if you take prisoners out of, they are going to weed, they are going to work in farms, in cities. You know, there's always a prison ward, someone from the prison officer with them to make sure that they don't run away. But this Damascus, where he went to, that is where actually he was coming from. He went back to his hometown. He had the opportunity to stay there, but he said, no, I will come back to my master. I'll come back to Yahweh. A lot of us, we have diverted. We are now in the camp of Satan. We are now doing a lot of things. Satan is giving us money, thinking that you are blessed. So because of that, you don't want to come back to your maker. But this Eliezer, he was able to come back. There are seven that you sent, man of God. You know what happened to Noah when in the ark? When he sent the raven, he didn't come back again. There are people that you can send them, they will go, they will not come back. But this Eliezer, he went to his hometown and he came back. Yes, Fanata the minister, I want us to look at this quality of Eliezer, that he went back to his hometown and he came back again. He did not think that I have arrived, I have break the bondage, I will no more be a servant, I will not be serving. Now I can be the boss of my own. But he came back to Abraham. Fanataya. I think time is our enemy. Let's have a few discussion on that. Then we will be draw the curtains for today.
All right, thank you,
Yes.
especially Apostle. So, Elias going back, to enjoy some short moment of freedom, going with servants. I'm sure they will be serving him on the way, but he did not let that pleasure. Yes, there are times that when somebody gets some sort of liberty or freedom, or when there are certain restrictions are lifted up in certain places, they find that place to be very comfortable, and then they wouldn't want to go back to the place of restriction again. Sometimes they don't know that that restriction is for their own benefit. Maybe Eliezer had counted the cause that although Abraham was old, although because when you read verse 24, when in chapter 24, when he was being said, the Bible said that Abraham was stricken in old age. He was very old. He was very old. Imagine he had given birth to Isaac when he was almost 100. And now Isaac is old for him to marry. So he would have been around 100 and something years. Very
Okay.
old. Which means that Abraham cannot fight again. He
No,
cannot
no,
come
no.
and chase me, because when Abraham was in his prime, I know that Abraham can go and fight with 5 kings. Now Abraham is very old. If I run away, nobody can come after me. In fact, I have stayed in the house of Abraham for long. I'm sure Eliezer also knows how to fight. He will be among those that went to rescue Lot.
Yes.
He knows how to fight. He can defend
Definitely.
himself. But he didn't see this as an opportunity. He didn't leverage on that. So what is this trying to tell us? That it's not every opportunity that we need to take. There are some opportunities, they are not meant for us to take. Because somebody will say, if somebody, I'm sure if Eliezer has a friend, someone will say, my brother, you are trying not to be wise. There's a kind of wisdom the world has. You have gotten all this and then you are not running away. Let us find somebody, come and marry Abraham, lie to Abraham that, yes, we can go. I can go to out of Canaan, go and look for my because it is his. He can go and look for his own sister. We didn't hear that he went into his family because I'm sure the apostle, right now, if somebody should tax somebody, that okay, I will tax somebody from Ewe, like from Tokoye. I'm looking for a woman to marry. The person knows that I am well to do, I am rich. He will enter into his family, go and look for one of his sisters.
Exactly.
But he didn't know. He was not selfish in that way. He was not selfish. He worked according to leading by direction. Eliezer was never selfish, and so he went. He didn't leverage on that opportunity to be rebellious to his master. He was not so selfish to go and bring somebody of his own kind. At least if I go and bring my sister, at least my
Yeah,
status will be lifted up
uh,
small.
but I tell the minister, you are bringing out some point here. You know, some of these Nigerian movies that we do watch, you know, a man can see a lady that he want to marry, then the lady will say, well, I want someone to carry a house boy. The lady actually go and bring his former boyfriend.
Sure.
You have seen it several times
Yes, sir.
in some of these movies. Some of these movies that the lady can actually go and bring his boyfriend to come and stay in the house as a houseboy, and then they can do whatever they can. So what you are saying, Eliezer can actually, you see, because we are looking at the line, the inheritance line, the bloodline, the inheritance, how someone who's supposed to take over Abraham. So Eliezer can actually go and arrange with, not necessarily his house. He can arrange with a wife, a
Sure.
woman, and bring the woman and tell the woman that this is my master's son that you are going to marry. Now, very soon our boss will die. Abraham will die. You pretend to marry Isaac. As soon as our boss die, kill Abraham. Kill Isaac. Give him some slow poison. Give him something to eat. Once he die, everything will now go back to Eliezer. Isaac is not there. His father Abraham is not there. All the things. Don't forget that when Yahweh, you know that Sarah died early. Yeah. If you read the book of Joshua, that was when Abraham went to sacrifice Isaac. So the Bible says, and Abraham returned to bury his wife. So Sarah died early. Sarah died early. So with that conspiracy, with that plan, Eliezer can actually bring a wife to Isaac. When Abraham died, they can conspire to kill Isaac so that the kingdom or the blessings or the house, whatever is Abraham, will go back to Eliezer. But he did not do that. He did not do that.
Bishop the Apostle.
Yes,
Another thing is that Abraham did not have any family in where he was.
Okay.
He had left his father's house, he has left his mother's house.
Okay.
So if his lineage is cut off, surely everything will come to and one thing is that because Eliezer was the eldest son according to the servant.
Yes.
I'm sure all other servants will be under him, will be subjected
definitely
to him. And once the master is not there, they will still pay their loyalty to him.
They will pay loyalty to him.
So he stood at a very high chance. He had everything. Everything was set for him to do his master evil. Everything was there for him. Although somebody will say, no. Most of the time when people are being this wicked, they don't see Yahweh. They won't say, oh,
no.
Yahweh is it. But Eliezer was loyal. That's why I said that indeed he really has he was not only in the house of Abraham, but he has also learned of Abraham and also come to learn of the God of Abraham. Because imagine, without the God of Abraham, without that fear, without that hunger for the God of Abraham, I'm sure these things would have popped up in his mind. I'm sure somebody would have even told him that Eliezer, this is a very big opportunity. If you miss it, don't be some people tell you don't be a fool. There are certain times that they will see certain opportunities and then they'll begin to give you counsel. My friend, if you don't take this counsel, this is your last chance. But maybe somebody might be listening to us. Not every opportunity is good for you to take. There are certain. He was not selfish. He was open, although he had lost that entitlement. Yes, although he had lost that birthright. It's not a birthright. Let me say, by chance inheritance. Although he had lost it, but he did not look at that one. He intended to serve his master because I believe his master has been so good to him. It is not easy for upon all Abraham's possession. Look at the great things Abraham had, and you are the one taking charge of it. And right now Abraham is old. He might not. There are certain things that you will even have that you forget.
No.
He is very old. You will have every opportunity, but Eliezer, a very faithful man indeed. Bishop the Apostle is indeed a hero because not
Eliezer is indeed a hero.
not everybody can get this. Money is dropping and then you will not lick. You will lick my office.
Ah, Eliezer
Eliasa is indeed a
is
hero.
actually a hero. He is on our thank hero for today. We have looked at two qualities of Eliezer of Damascus. Eliezer from Syria. Eliezer, a foreigner who was born in the house of Abraham. And you know, in those days, servants are either bought or they are acquired through war. These are two means that you can get a servant. Yes. When you say servant, either through you use your own money to pay. Yes, that is how come even Joseph was bought. Yes. So or through war. So if you conquer, you take whatever, you take the whatever, including the people. Yes. So you know, as Eliezer was growing up, he might have understood because in those days too, there's some mark, there's some tribal mark, there are some things that they use to mark the servant. So if you enter into the house or if you enter into a palace or a house of any great man, you will see the difference between those that were born by or those that belong to the house or the servant. So upon with all these things, I strongly believe Eliezer will have some bitter feelings about Abraham.
Sure.
We don't know whether his parents were bought or Abraham was able to conquer his native country or native town. That is how, because Abraham fought a lot of wars. So we don't know how come even Abraham acquired his parents. The only thing we know that he was born in the house of Abraham. So with all these things, he might have that harbor that feeling that Abraham, one way or the other, did not treat his parents well, but he did not look at that. He served Abraham faithfully. We will end here today and we will continue, Yah willing. Yes, on Wednesday. Yes, we'll continue on. That is the fourth yom of the Shabbat. Tomorrow we'll play the repeat. We need you to learn something about this man, Eliezer of Damascus. You have heard about him, but you have not actually take your time to look at the qualities of this man. We have just looked at two. Yah willing, on Wednesday or the fourth yom, if we come there, we will look at the prayerful life of this man. Yes, who was able to pray to the God of his master. There are some people who stay in the house of their master, they are carrying their idols, they are carrying their gods. But this man, he know the God of his master. Yes, he was able to pray to this God. And he also understand timing. Timing, he also understood that timing is very important when it comes to your work with Yahuwah or your work with Yahuwah. Yahuwah bless you, and may Yahuwah increase you, and Yahuwah grant your heart desire for you. We strongly believe that today you did not listen to us or you did not watch us by chance or by accident. It was actually a divine appointment. For indeed, you are a hero in the making. Indeed, little thing that you are doing, it is also giving light to others. For in your light, others will also see light. In your light, others will also be blessed. In your light, better things will happen to others. May God bless you. May Yahweh increase you. May Yahweh grant your heart desire for you. But we'll be coming definitely tonight. Yes, we'll be coming back tonight. It's going to be another level altogether.
Another level.
Another level altogether. set the record straight. Yes, set the record straight or setting the records. We are in the Chodesh. We are in the Chodesh of apostolic records. So at 9 p.m., yes, 9 p.m. tonight, we will be coming live here, even in the Teshuva Bible app here. In the Teshuva Bible app here, and I strongly believe that you cannot afford to miss tonight. We are setting the record straight, even in the Teshuva